Now to the last point, the major lessons from this session, or not from the last 2 days and today, and what we take back home. So I will have Marie-Angélique to start, and then, of course, I will come back to you, Linnea. Please.
What is developed in the Northern Hemisphere is not necessarily what the people want. Because I have seen here diversity, not only in terms of the capacity of the institution, but also in terms of what they want to achieve. You know, one major concept was change. Everybody here is concerned by change, how to influence change in their own country, in their region, and so on and so forth. How we are going to do it, I think if the program is able to create a conducive environment for this think tank to grow and do their job, that's fine. But by doing so, we should avoid to think that there is a way of doing it. And I think yesterday people were talking about the socio-cultural context. We have to be careful that this program is not seen as another way of imposing a model. So I think this is something I was very keen to. And yesterday, I was impressed by the energy we saw in this room, mainly for the last session. People seem to know exactly what they want, where they want to go. What they need is the means that will allow them to do it without depending on a government entirely or some other institution that will impose a view or something like that.
Thank
you.
So
I think for me is very important, diversity and no model.
I think there can be no wiser words than that, there is no one-size-fits-all, there is no one single model. The issue is there may be generic elements, but it has to be all adjusted to the socio-cultural context as you go. And what you're saying that to do that, you're impressed by the energy which is there, and to undertake the journey, what we need is just a vehicle to move faster. So that's a very, very perceptive, wise conclusion. But what action do we take for that?
The action, as I say, people need technical support. You know, we are talking about the crowdfunding, but it's not enough. Some institution need really the know-how, you know, because for various reasons, I think some are very local. Yeah. You know, some seems to be more prolific in terms of what they are doing, the means, and so on. But for me, is what I call a bunch of demand in terms of technical support that people need, capacity building at the organizational level. For example, I can see that there is a need of more peer learning. I think we don't need necessarily to find in the North some expert to come. But from my experience of discussing with people, I see that within this room, there is enough for peer learning, how people can come together. Yeah. Those who are weak can learn from those who went through this process, because they are mainly developing countries with the same historical process, with dealing with the same economic and political issues. So there is a way of doing it. So as much as we can favorize the exchange, etc., I think it will be very helpful.
Thank you. I think the point being made is very, very important in that way, so that there is capacity already over here, and one can also create a synergy using our internal capacities as we move in terms of improving incrementally. Thank you very much for that.